And just when everything starts to feel predictable, when your hooks are landing, your retention is stable, your audience is responding, something subtle begins to shift again. Something quieter, but far more powerful than anything before it. And that is viewer trust. Because in 2026, attention might get you views. But trust is what turns those views into growth that compounds, stabilizes, and eventually becomes unstoppable. Because here's the uncomfortable truth most creators avoid. People don't follow content, they follow patterns they trust. And if your videos feel inconsistent, unpredictable in value, or disconnected in purpose, the viewer may watch once, maybe twice, but they won't stay, they won't return, and most importantly, they won't choose you when given options. And choice is everything now, because the algorithm isn't just pushing your content, it's presenting it alongside countless alternatives, silently asking the viewer, do you want this or something else? And in that moment, trust becomes the deciding factor, not just curiosity. This is why some creators with average hooks still grow faster than those with perfect ones, because they've built a subtle expectation in the viewer's mind, a feeling that this creator always delivers something worth my time. And once that belief is established, even a slightly weaker video can perform well, because the viewer gives it a chance they wouldn't give to someone else. But building that kind of trust requires something deeper than strategy. It requires consistency of experience, not just in what you post, but in how it feels to watch your content, the tone, the pacing, the clarity, the emotional payoff. Everything needs to align in a way that feels familiar yet engaging. And this is where many creators unknowingly break their own momentum, by experimenting too randomly, changing styles too abruptly, or chasing trends that don't align with their established identity, creating a disconnect that the viewer may not consciously notice but subconsciously feels. Because the brain is always looking for patterns, and when it finds one it likes, it holds onto it. But the moment that pattern breaks, even slightly, attention weakens, engagement drops, and the connection starts to fade. This doesn't mean you shouldn't evolve. It means your evolution needs to feel intentional, like a natural progression rather than a sudden shift, so the viewer stays with you, adapting alongside you instead of feeling left behind. And as this trust builds, something interesting begins to happen. Your audience starts engaging differently, more deeply, more consistently, not just watching, but responding, commenting, sharing, because they're no longer passive viewers, they're invested participants. This is where influence begins to take shape, not in a loud, obvious way, but in subtle behavioral shifts. People start waiting for your content, recognizing your style, even predicting your patterns. And when that happens, you've moved beyond visibility into familiarity. And familiarity is powerful because it reduces resistance. It lowers the threshold for engagement, making it easier for your content to perform well, not because it's perfect, but because it's trusted. Meanwhile, the algorithm is watching all of this, tracking not just what happens within a single video, but how viewers behave across multiple videos from the same creator, identifying patterns of loyalty, repeat engagement, and sustained interest. And when it detects these signals, it begins to treat your content differently, not just as individual uploads, but as part of a larger, reliable system, increasing distribution, improving recommendation frequency, and placing your videos in stronger positions within the feed. This is where growth starts to feel smoother, less chaotic, less dependent on individual performance, because now you're not building from zero every time. You're building on top of an existing foundation of trust. But here's the catch. Trust is fragile, and in a fast-moving ecosystem like Shorts, it can fade quickly if not maintained, which means every video still matters. Every upload still contributes to the overall perception of your content. And the creators who understand this treat every short as a promise, an expectation they need to meet or exceed, because they know that long-term growth isn't built on occasional brilliance. It's built on consistent delivery. And once you internalize that, once you shift from chasing views to building trust, something changes, not just in your results, but in your approach, your mindset, your entire strategy. Because now, you're no longer asking, will this go viral? You're asking something far more powerful, far more sustainable. Will this strengthen the relationship I'm building with my audience? And in 2026, That question is what separates temporary spikes from lasting success, because views can come and go. But trust, once earned and maintained, becomes the engine that drives everything else. And when that engine is running, quietly, consistently, behind the scenes, growth stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like momentum you can't easily lose.